The story begins in Virginia in 1864, the third year of the American Civil War. Amy, a little girl, is collecting mushrooms in the forest. Suddenly, she notices a soldier with a wounded leg. The soldier introduces himself to her as John. Amy informs him that she lives nearby at a boarding school with only 4 girls, a teacher named Edwina, and the school's owner, Martha. John requests Amy take him to the school hostel. Even though Amy knows he is from the enemy army, she feels sorry for him and assists him. When John arrives at the school, he passes out and collapses. The girls at the school think John is very handsome. They carry him into the music room. Martha instructs Amy to tie a piece of blue cloth to the main gate so that soldiers passing by can see that an enemy is inside. But, seeing John's poor condition, Martha decides to keep him at the school until he improves, and then hand him over to the soldiers. Martha and Edwina stitch John's injured leg together. Amy wants to tell everyone John's name, but Martha says it's unnecessary because he won't be staying for long. Later, Martha is in her room when a large bell rings. It turns out that soldiers have arrived at the gate. Martha proceeds to meet them. The soldiers warn her that some enemy soldiers are nearby and advise her to remain alert. Martha agrees and asks for some bullets. She plans to use her father's gun to protect herself and the girls if necessary. The captain immediately hands her some bullets, and the soldiers leave. The girls watch everything through the windows and are relieved that Martha did not hand over John. Amy pays John a visit the following day to see how he is doing. He feels better. Then Amy goes into the kitchen, where all of the girls are cooking together. Today, the girls put on their best dresses to impress John. Martha enters John's room. John thanks her for looking after him, but Martha insists that he is not a guest there. At that point, Alicia enters the room. She tells John that if he needs anything, he should ask her. However, Martha orders Alicia to leave and forbids any student from visiting John's room. Later that afternoon, Edwina goes to John's room. She gives him soap and clean clothes, instructing him to take a bath. John tells her that he fled from the war because he did not want to die. Edwina says she is from Richmond and has traveled extensively because of her father's business. John describes Edwina as the most beautiful girl he has ever seen. Edwina claims that her only wish is to leave school and live freely. That night, all of the girls gathered for prayer. While everyone is praying, Alicia sneaks into John's room and pretends to go to the bathroom. In the dark, she kisses John before quickly returning to the prayer room. The next morning, everyone joins John in prayer. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door. Martha goes outside to check and quickly returns. Martha tells everyone that 2 soldiers arrived earlier. She claims she gave them some food, and they left. Now they're debating whether or not to hand over John to the soldiers. They decide to vote, and everyone agrees to keep John at school until he is fully recovered. That night, Martha invites John to join her in drinking brandy. John compliments Martha on her caring and strong nature. He asks if she has anyone special in her life. Martha reluctantly says yes. John's health improves significantly, and he begins repairing the school's garden. When he becomes tired, Amy brings him water. John says Amy is his best friend because she saved his life. Amy rushes back inside, filled with joy. Then Alicia stops Amy and asks her about John. Martha is also keeping an eye on John from upstairs. She approaches him and thanks him for what he is doing. She examines his leg and tells him that he is much better now and will be able to leave by the end of this week. John offers to stay and work as a gardener, but Martha refuses. Hearing this makes the other girls very sad. They ask Martha if John can at least join them for dinner. Edwina also goes to John and tells him not to leave. John tells her that he has liked her since they first met. He claims he is tired of war and wants to flee and marry her. When Edwina hears this, she approaches him. Just then, the other girls enter the room and accompany John to dinner. At dinner, John compliments the apple pie. Alicia declares, "I made it." Edwina explains, "The recipe was mine." Amy says, "I picked the apples." After dinner, as he leaves, John praises Martha once more and approaches her, but Martha quickly departs. After that, John approaches Edwina and tells her, "Tonight, I will come to your room." That night, Edwina waits for John. But instead of hearing John, she hears voices in another room. When she goes to check, she sees John and Alicia. Actually, John is flirting with everyone at school, but no one knows it yet. Every girl at the boarding school likes John, and he takes advantage of their affection. Now that Edwina sees John with Alicia, she becomes enraged and leaves. John follows her, but Edwina pushes him, causing him to fall down the stairs. Martha rushes in and finds John unconscious. Alicia lies and claims that John was bothering her. They carry John into a room. Martha claims that they now need to call a doctor, but they can't because if a doctor arrives, John will be apprehended. They realize they must cut John's leg to save him. Martha asks Edwina to bring a saw and an anatomy book. The next morning, the girls bury John's severed leg in the garden. When John awakens, he is shocked to discover that his leg has vanished. He becomes enraged and shouts at Martha and Alicia. He says, "I never visited your rooms. I only visited Alicia's room." John shouts that Martha and Alicia have severed his leg. Martha, hearing his screams, locks his room from the outside. Everyone is scared by John's loud cries. After some time, when John calms down, Alicia enters his room and apologizes. But John pulls her hair and makes her steal Martha's key. Alicia, scared, agrees. Meanwhile, downstairs in the dining room, everyone debates what to do with John. Even now, Edwina attempts to defend John. Just then, John comes downstairs on crutches. He claims he has Martha's gun and threatens everyone. He grabs Amy's pet turtle and throws it to the ground, scaring everyone even more. Martha then hands Amy a blue cloth and instructs her to tie it to the gate so that soldiers know an enemy is inside. But when John sees Amy tying the cloth, he removes it and threatens her. Martha attempts to calm John down and invites him to come inside. John enters and says he doesn't want to hurt them, but he'd rather die than be crippled. Then he threatens them again and heads upstairs. Edwina follows John, attempting to get close to him. Meanwhile, Amy brings poisonous mushrooms from the outside. The girls invite John to dinner. Everyone dresses nicely and sits at the dinner table. John apologizes for his actions, but the girls do not change their minds. They serve John a special dish made from poisonous mushrooms. After eating it, John begins gasping for air. Edwina becomes concerned, but the others continue their conversation as if nothing is wrong. John will soon die. The next day, the girls construct a coffin for John and place it outside the gate with the blue cloth, hoping that soldiers will find and remove his body. Following that, only Edwina is sad. The other girls resume their normal daily lives, as if nothing had happened. And with that, the movie come to an end. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.